Welcome to BTS Queens of Fs. Disclaimer: this is a complete work of fan fiction. Mom, it's not necessary for me to stay with Jungkook at the moment. I'm sure we will work just fine after marriage. It is not medicine. We're your favorite aunts, she replied, pointing towards her mother in law. Mama, I was not expecting this from you, Mrs. Chan shrugs. You're going to get married with him in less than 2 months, Gwen. What's the problem in staying with him before marriage? Gwen huffs while pouting. But what's the point of living before? She was persistent on her point. See, I know you're scared of him, Ryan. He is your cousin, for God's sake. Both of you have been grown up together and now finally getting married. Ryan sighs, massaging her temples. His mother was right. She is slightly scared of him. It was not her fault. He's a mafia, for God's sake. Why won't she felt scared around him? But having no other option and knowing very well her both mothers will not listen to her, she just accepted her defeat. All let out a heavy sigh sitting in passenger seat while Jungkook was putting her stuff in trunk. What a gentleman he is, she sighs and laid her head on back seat. One felt his gaze on her when he came in car and set her cheeks, blushed slightly raising her cheeks and neck, but she pretended as if she's asleep. I know you're not sleeping, kitten. She bit her cheeks and then slowly opened her eyes, being embarrassed. He smiled to see her flushed. Relax, I don't bite, at least not yet, he drawled, and her eyes widened. Oh my god. He did just one second her breath and tried to play it cool. Why, you're not driving. I need your attention before leaving. And raised the brow, moving towards him. Her green eyes meet with his hazel ones as he smiles and tucks a strange strand of hair behind her ear. You're looking pretty, kitten. She bit her lower lip to hide her blush. Thanks, she murmured after clearing her throat. She started driving and wouldn't take her time, secretly ogling him from corner of her eyes. He was so God, she was one of the lucky girls to get this mafia for just herself. Welcome home, baby, he smiles that she replied, politely. He shows her around whole house while she follows him behind. She have never been to his house before, even though he was her fiance. But her new home was pretty. He got a really good taste in everything. It's pretty, she murmured, smiling, and he nods, agreeing. Thanks, Your Highness. She slightly giggles. Lastly, he showed her his room, which they were going to share after marriage. It was so beautiful. He have specially made a walk-in closet for her, which is every girl's dream, and literally warm her heart. Get comfortable. I'm in library, just in case if you need me. One eye widened as she stopped him by grabbing his sleeve. Where am I sleeping? She asks, nervously. It's our room, baby. After marriage, she corrected him. We're not married yet, Jungkook. She murmured, slightly scared of his response. Why don't you want to share a room with me before marriage? Don't you want to be close with me? She bit her lower lip in nervousness. It's not like that. He raised a brow. I think we should just wait for a while. I mean, till we're married and officially together, she told him, her inner thoughts truthfully. But I don't want to wait until marriage. I want you now. He was smirking, totally enjoying teasing her, as her mouth hung open. Well, what? She stuttered, eyes wide, as he came closer till she felt his breath on her nape. You're looking so pretty right now, kitten, that I can't wait, and right now and right here. Her eyes widened, hearing his words, while he was enjoying the show, hiding a smile to see her reaction. Jungkook, she muttered, even able to hold back as he let out a chuckle on her reaction. Lex, I was kidding, he murmured as he her neck. She closed her eyes in embarrassment while butterflies swung to life when his touched her as he stepped away and lightly grazed her cheek. Let's go, I'll show you the room where you can stay without worrying about me. He was still smirking while she was slow flushed by now. Call me if you need anything. She nods. Okay. When he called her before leaving as she hummed in response. By this ratio, I'm afraid our future kids will come so late. He drawled and her eyes widened, but with a wink he left from there. When he placed a hand on her beating heart, he was intentionally saying all those things and totally enjoying her torment and flushed self, while she was going so embarrassed and more nervous. Good morning, one murmured softly, looking still flushed and nervous from yesterday. Morning, he smiles. You know how to cook? He asked, amazed. She looks up with a nod. Yeah, why I think I don't know cooking? He shrugs. Just a general guess. Well, for information, I don't just know cooking, but I am a really good chef too. Really? Let's see. He came behind her as he placed his one hand around her waist, head on her shoulder, and extended his other hand to grab a pancake. When breath got stuck on his action, he hummed, eating. It's really good, love, he murmured, maple syrup from his fingers as he her cheeks before stepping away, and she finally let out a breath. He was intimidating her, and she can't help or do anything in this situation. Have a seat, she muttered after clearing her throat and mentally preparing herself for her future. Both of them have little cute interactions in whole week, while Jungkook never let go of any chance to tease or make her flush. She was intimidating by his reaction, and it always made her feel butterflies in her tummy. When was getting bored, so she thought to go out in gym in home that Jungkook showed her a week ago. She opened the door of the gym, but her eyes widened as she froze in place to see Jungkook there. Of course he's here. I should turn and leave, she muttered slowly, but when she see his back towards her as he was so engrossed, the punching bag she to see starts on display. Her eyes fallen down to his muscular back with every his muscle flex, and she bit her. What surprised her more was he was punching without gloves or hand wraps. His knuckles, as he keeps one stir his tattoos, ogling him like a grape. His drops, as if finding someone present, and one's eyes widened. Hope you're done stirring, or I'll say, over your fiance did. He smirks, and a blush rose to her cheeks in embarrassment. I was not stirring when defended her cheeks still flushed. He nods coolly, that stupid smirk still dancing on her lips, as he leans down to grab his water bottle. I'm serious, I was just waiting for you to be done with back, she blurted out, and he raised an eyebrow. Oh, it's free, you can use it now. Why not? He walks towards the bench, and one tried to ignore how his eyes stare her from top for a brief moment as she felt her whole on his intense gaze. When Brett thinks aside as she wears her gloves, she struggles with the second glove. Give me your hand, he mutters, coming closer, and she looks up and hesitantly gives him her other hand as he softly made her wear it. Do you know how to boxing? He asked, his eyes on her hand and hers on him, while his touch is sending jolt of electricity down her spine. No, she bit her lower lip nervously, her eyes got caught here. Turn around and face the back, he muttered huskily as he let out a shaky breath and obeyed him silently. Still in another daze, her eyes widened a bit when she felt his hands on her waist. Move one foot back, he whispered, sliding his hand on her left, telling her to move it back. One feel like her heart is beating 100 times faster when his hands are on her as she moved her foot back slightly. Oh God, she closed her eyes, feeling his touch. Bend your knees slightly and be comfortable, he muttered, and she sucked in a small breath when she felt his breath hitting her neck. His hand wrapped around her waist, bringing her both of her hands up. When you throw the jab, turn your arm a bit like this. He rails off, showing her how to jab with her hand. Got it? He asked, and she just hummed in response. Instead of moving back, his hands just slide back to her waist, only to sink down to her, and his front against her back. His body radiating through her hoodie as his thumbs stuck into waistband a bit. When felt his chin rest on the top of her head, making her blush more. You're doing good, baby. Just keep hitting just like this. He praises, and pride filled her system as she followed his instructions closely. An hour passed when practiced while Jungkook teach her, more like not letting go of any chance to touch her, or maybe she feels like this. Good job, Miyamur, my love, he murmured softly as he leaned forward and her forehead, and she closed her eyes on his touch, blushing. God, she can't wait to marry him anymore. You're right, baby? He asked her as she looks up to meet his gaze. Yeah, why? He looks tired, went through him while blinking her eyes. Did she really? She asked herself. I'm fine, she replied. I think you should take rest. One pouts unknowingly as she nods in response and follow him outside. Her eyes widened, suddenly remembering something as she immediately turned towards him, who was going towards his room. Jungkook, she almost yelled, pacing towards him. He stops as he stares at her with a raised brow, who was literally panicking now. Hey, relax. What happened? Are you okay? He stared her from head to toe and let out a sigh of relief. I'm fine, she replied, taking a deep breath to calm her nerves. We're supposed to go on our family picnic and we're already late. He raised a brow in confusion. Which picnic? He murmured calmly as he cupped her cheeks, thumb grazing them lightly. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you about it, but we need to leave before 12 p.m. Jungkook looks towards clock hanging on wall. Okay, anything else? One shakes her head. You're not understanding. We'll be late and both our families could be there and we're meant to be lovey double couple. The purpose of the whole thing and our being together before marriage at first place. He smirks as she closes her eyes without realizing she let out all the information. Ah, he hummed, amused. I didn't know that was our actually purpose to live together before marriage, but technically we're not living together, wifey. We're still just housemates, I guess. And glare him as he steps on his foot. Do you understand a single word I said, or just listen which was important for you? She hissed, twisting his ear, and he let out a yelp. Okay, okay, love, I got it. We will be there on no time. Now, please have some mercy on me. Why not stepping away? You become dangerous sometimes. And you always act like a dangerous guy. She rolls her eyes. She was getting bolder and less scared of him with every passing day, and so far she starts enjoying his average and action as well. Get dressed, I shall see you downstairs. She snorts, rolling her eyes. Jung stuck in her breath, staring her. She was wearing a short sundress, but it was enough for him to lose himself and just concentrate on his girl in a whole group. You're looking so pretty, princess, he almost whispers, and she smiles. You're also looking good, she complimented. He was not wearing his usual suit, but a t-shirt and pants, because one have literally threatened his whole generation if he wore a suit today. Really? You like it? He looks down towards him and she nods, joining her arm with his, dragging him out. Yup. Well, like suits more, she rolls her eyes. It's good to change your style once in a while, Jungkook. He sighs. Fine, whatever my wife wants. A tint of hue over her cheeks on his words. Whenever he calls her wife or give her any new nickname, it will always make her flush and shy. Both of them went to their family picnic spot with hands in hands. She was blushing and feeling a giddy feeling internally. When he failed to notice her mother's and mother-in-law's smirk and smiling face to see them joining hands. Jungkook, can you leave my hand? He looks towards her with a raised brow. Why, baby? She cleared her throat to not let his words affect her. I need to meet with everyone, he smirks. We can meet with them, with our hands joined too, he drawled, making her eyes widened. He loved birds, his mother tripped, pulling them out of their trance, as one cleared her throat before facing her. Hey mom, she murmurs a little awkwardly as she hastily pulls her hand away from his grip and hugs her, which she returned with a happy smile. I'm happy you guys are getting along, she whispers in my ears, and her cheeks turn pink. After that, one made with the parents and siblings, and so far everyone was happy to see them getting along, and especially when the no one was practically scared of him. So this little closeness was making them all happy for both of them. So, my dear sister, how's our brother-in-law? One glared her sister on her sheepish tone, but she just smirks in return. Come on, tell us. Her elder sister joined the conversation. Is he treating you good, or do I need to give him a good lesson? When stifles a laugh as Sergei moved towards Jungkook, who was sitting with some other family members in boys' room. He's a nice guy, she unknowingly smiles, looking towards him, and her siblings got the chance to tease her more. She came out of her daydreamings when her younger sister Abby nudged her elbow with her. Someone is falling in love when read her lip looking down. Was she falling for him? She don't know, but there was 90% chances of this possibility because he was beyond her imagination and expectations, and always warms her heart in a good way. She just shrugs in response. So, do you expect a little niece soon? One choke on her drink as she moved her gaze towards her elder sister with a glare and flushed cheeks. Do you guys have any other topic other than me and Jungkook? She glared at them, and they just shrugged, teasing her more. Come on, man, didn't I give you a little niece right after getting married? So now it's your responsibility to make me aunt or give me a son, a cousin to play with. She murmured, squeezing her 1-year-old son in her lap. One smiled to see her cute gesture, but her wits have literally in her. You have literally become too bold after getting married. She rolls her eyes. Two of them talked, which was more like Abby and Akira teasing their soon-to-be bride sister every chance they got, especially when Jungkook and Wan sit together on the dinner table. Apart from when they didn't even let go of any chance to tease Jungkook in all of their playful banter, and being the teasing king that he already was, he only makes Wan more shy while teasing her more with them. One felt Jungkook's hand on her as he almost choked on her food, getting everyone's attention, while he just smirks to see her response. What are you doing? She hissed underneath her breath. That was only audible for him. What am I doing, love? He please jump, crossing her. She sucked in a sharp breath. Jungkook, please take it away. She almost bleeded. Her cheeks were burning. Why? Please, she whispered, showing him her doe eyes. Well, give in return. She closed her eyes, muttering some incoherent words, and sighs before facing him. Wherever you want, he smirked, sparking his inner cheeks, and finally did what she wants as she let out a sigh of relief. After dinner and more gossips, it was time to leave, but as one sister was staying over at her parents' house, she also decided to join the night with them. Jung cleared his throat as one moved her gaze towards him with a raised brow. Mind if I take my woman with me for a minute, dear sister-in-laws? He asks politely, a smile dancing on his lips. Her sister's visibly smirks and one felt her cheeks burn. Of course not, brother-in-law. You can have your woman however you want, she drawled, making one's eyes widen. As she cuffs and got up from her seat and dragged Jungkook away from there before they embarrassed her more. What was the offer? She hissed and he raised a brow. I didn't even did anything now. He defended himself while she rolls her eyes. What do you want? She crossed her arms on her and his gaze follows her movement. My face is up here. She glared him and he lightly smiles. Oh yeah, I heard you're staying over. Why not? Okay, then give me a goodbye. And I'm good to go. When I widened in shock, her mouth almost hung open on his demand. What? Are you out of your mind or do you lost your brain cells? She almost hissed as he took a dangerous step towards her, invading her personal space. You said I can get whatever I want on the table and I want a goodbye. Come on, give it to me now. One felt her neck and cheeks. She have never thinks he will came up with something like this in return as she gulps and tried to play dumb. What when he did? His hands cupped her cheeks as he grazed lightly. They were a little far from the family, but why no half of them was already stirring them. Do you want me to take first step? I don't mind though. He leans forward, but before he does something, she tiptoed and quickly. His cheeks flushed on her action as she hastily tried to leave, but his firm grip on her waist didn't let her move. I meant, baby, but this works for now too. He nuzzled his nose in her neck. You don't know how much right now. He drawled, smirking. I shall come to pick you tomorrow. Take care. She nods as he temples, and as soon as he loosened his grip, she immediately ran away from there, her whole body. When ignored teasing smirks and looks of everyone, when she returns, already knew the night topic is going to be her and her only. She sighs, but butterflies was dancing in her stomach, remembering everything. It's been a month since both of them were staying together, and so far they were getting along good. From luxury states that he took her to some amazing restaurants, to cute days that she prepared for them with some quality time. Both of them were slowly warming up with each other, but so far one have noticed how badly sometimes he and have tried to cross limits to not make her feel uncomfortable. It was his birthday, and she was came up with the idea to herself him as his birthday present. One smile sticking towards her in mirror. She was wearing a very dress that she never wore before in front of him. Biting her lower lip in nervousness and with a last will, she went downstairs because Jungkook was about to return back home and she had prepared dinner for them. She opened the door with a smile, and as soon as he saw her, his mouth almost fell on floor to see her. He was just staring at her as she slightly got nervous on his intense gaze. Everything all right? She murmured as he came up out of his trance by clearing his throat with a nod. Yep, of course. Baby, you're looking so pretty. He smiles, trying his best to disturb her face when internally smirks, noticing his reaction. Fresh up outside dining, he nods, and Hurley left from there. Woman, what are you wearing? He muttered to himself while letting out a breath, and his shirt burns as he fanned himself to cool his nerves. Surprise! When chirped, happy birthday, dear fiance. May God give you the tendency to tolerate me till our last breath. She gulped and he let out a chuckle, wrapping his arm around her waist and softly, which returned with a slight smile. Thank you, love. It's so pretty and everything looks delicious. His eyes roamed around all the decorations she have did as a beautiful smile tugged his lips and forehead again. You like it? I love it, baby girl. He smiles as she blushed. Let's check in. I have a surprise for you. He raised a brow in confusion while she just spit her in her cheeks. What more? It was more than I deserved, love, he murmured, smiling as he pulled her in his arms again. Excuse me? Don't underestimate my fiancé. He deserves all the happiness of the world. A smile was all leaving his face, even for a second today, and his heart was swelling with some unknown emotions for her. I never realized how much I'm in love with you until now. In fact, I think it's increasing with every passing day, he murmured near her, and her heart skipped a beat. Her cheeks turned darker shade of crimson. She cleared her throat, taking a step away from him. Well, I think we should the cake and eat, he nods with a hum. They had a nice, peaceful dinner with light chit chat and little distraction for him, but he was trying to play it cool and all lost his control. Jingle left for his room after dinner. A few minutes passed, and Wayne entered in his room before knocking, and he smiles to see her. raised a brow when he saw her fidgeting with her fingers nervously. So far, they have developed a great bonding and understanding, and they can talk with each other openly about any topic they want to talk. He knew she used to be scared of him, so he became extra soft for her and did everything in his favor to make her feel comfortable. And it works, but he don't know why she was suddenly feeling nervous now. "You're what, love?" She nods as she took a step towards him. "Want to say something?" he murmured softly as he pulled her closer and snuggled in her lap, sniffing her rosy and citrus scent. "Your scent is so heavenly, baby," he hissed, and she felt some feather detach of butterflies in her stomach. "I want to say something." She finally encouraged herself to say it as he nods in response. "Jungkook, I know you how badly." "Myself to you." He sighted bull backwards and raised a brow in confusion. "What you mean, love?" He cupped her cheeks, his thumb creasing lightly, and she bit her lower. "It is that it sounds like," as he poured the gift and cook. It took him a few seconds to understand what she meant as his eyes widened and a smirk dug his lips. "Really?" She nods. "Never knew I'll receive the best birthday gift of my life today." He rasps, creasing her back, and she felt tingles on his touch, her cheeks more. "Where did this idea came in your mind?" His hand was lazily drawing some random circles on her back, which was soothing her nerves. "Just a random idea." She shrugs, and he hummed. "What happened to our being morals?" He teased, poking her in his cheek, and her eyes widened. It was not about it. We didn't knew each other well that time," she replied, mustering some courage. He smiles. "Are we good now?" She nods, sitting down, as he made her face him and smiles before. Then cheeks went hold his shirt when he closed her eyes. Then he slightly to her forehead. "I can't wait. There is no rush," he murmured. Her neck went up her eyes. "What?" "You don't need to yourself when I'm a patient man for you." "I was not Jungkook. I really mean it," he hummed as he picked her, wrapping his around his, making her more flushed. "Our marriage in next week," he reminded her, "and we didn't anything till now." "One more week won't hurt." She rasped softly, sitting on bed. When still, she smiled slightly. "I didn't know you were such a gentleman." She was smiling wholeheartedly. His words have increased more respect for him in her eyes. "Promise won't be after marriage," he asked in her ear before her sweet spot as she let out a soft with closed eyes. "I see," she murmured, biting her lips as she slowly moved to sit comfortable and he with closed eyes. "Change the outfit, princess. I'm already struggling myself." She smirks, listening his words. "What if I don't?" She murmured, her one arm wrapped around his neck while the other poked his nose slightly, and he growled with closed eyes. "Don't test my patience, man. Our marriage is in a few days," he reminded with a smirk, and her cheeks turned pink as she bit her lower and gulps a nervous thump. "Well, okay, fine." She softly mumbles while clearing her throat as she tried to get up from his, but he pulled her back towards him as she let out a gasp. "What now?" "I never said you can leave." She narrows her eyes. "You just told me to. You're so bipolar, Jungkook." He smirks. "How do you got to know?" She let out a chuckle on his words. "Just have my own ways." She shrugs her hands when to play with his shirts, and he raises a amused brow. "You have no idea how much I love you." "Well, I think I'm falling for you too," she confessed honestly while biting her, as she immediately moved her gaze toward the direction in nervousness. A full smile bloomed to his lips, making him to pull her more closer towards him. "And you have no idea what I would do with you on her." He hissed near her ear, making her eyes widen and a blush more as she immediately hid herself and he let out a chuckle on her response. Thanks for watching, everyone.